Today we're checking out our first ever Switzerland video and doing the top 10 places to visit in Switzerland. We know it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I mean, this video is going to be one of the best top 10 places to visit videos because it's dang Switzerland. Everyone wants to go to Switzerland.
I mean, even us, we once planned a 2-week trip in Switzerland and then totally retconned it and went to Italy instead because we were already hiking for 2 weeks in Iceland. So we're like, man, 2 more weeks of hiking might be really hard on our legs and all of our body.
Yeah, and you might say we can just go to like cities in Switzerland, but we already planned the whole trip and bought all the Airbnbs and hotels and stuff, and I expected to go on like day-long hikes around.
Yeah.
So
we didn't do it. We just decided not to rent another car and go to Italy and sit in cities. But Switzerland is still on the bucket list, obviously, if we already had a whole trip planned. Let's see where we need to go when we finally go.
Hi, Shirley, and I just returned from a one-week road trip to the beautiful country of Switzerland, and I want to show you my top 10 favorite places.
wowzers.
So we're going to start this video off in the beautiful mountains of Appenzell. What I did is I landed in Zurich and I drove an hour to Appenzell. There's this mountain, it's called Shafler Mountain.
Insane.
And it is absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of Cesena in the Italian Dolomites. And anyways, to get there, what I did is I took the gondola from Epinal up. It was about $31 round trip.
Oh.
And then from there, I hiked to Shafler, and it took about an hour. And you hike up to this restaurant/lodge, and it's about $45 a night to stay up there. Me and my buddy Danny, we said,
wait, $45 a night?
Stay up there. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's a hostel, I guess. There's a lot of, you can't really find even hostels for that cheap anymore, I feel like.
No, that's not a bad price at all, especially for Switzerland, literally one of the most expensive countries in the entire world.
5 years ago, so he probably went before COVID, and after COVID, hotel prices went nuts. It's like,
what it is now.
It's probably insane.
And we
it's
were
probably
able
double.
to film the sunset over this beautiful Shafler Mountain. I mean, it was incredible. Like one of the coolest sunsets in my life. We were able to whip out the FPV drone. It's not as crowded as other areas in Switzerland.
What a spot.
And it's just absolutely beautiful. This lodge was awesome. It was $45 a night. And from the viewpoint, you can see 3 countries. You can see Germany, Liechtenstein, and Austria. And I mean, it was awesome. So
that's incredible.
I highly recommend you visit here. It is just one of the coolest places ever.
I wonder if now, since like tourism is like so crazy right now, and like all the cities all over the world are like so full, if that would ever be open during the summer.
I wouldn't imagine so. You have to go in an off season, I think.
It just seems like tourism nowadays is insane. Like insane. Every dang Asian city we go to is just packed with tourists.
If you're not staying in the lodge, make sure you make it back by 7 to the gondola so you can take a ride down. Also in the area, there's a beautiful lake. You can visit one of the most beautiful restaurants in the world that's located in the side of a freaking cave. I didn't go there because I didn't have time, but if you're in Appenzell, you might as well. So anyways, that is it for Appenzell. Now for our second location, we're going to head over to probably the most beautiful place in the world, in my opinion, and it is the beautiful town of Lauterbrunnen.
So insane.
This is a valley of over 75 waterfalls. This is where authors such as J.R. Tolkien got inspired for like books such as Lord of the Rings, and when you go there, you're gonna understand because it is just absolutely magical. It's this like little town nestled in this just valley with tons of waterfalls. It is so green. There's like cows all around, and it's just magical. I found this really cool park that had like a ping pong table and just a bunch of cool things right at the base of the waterfall.
Man.
We walked around. We went into co-op store to get the Swiss essentials, like the chocolate and Coke, and we just walked around. We had an awesome
Why didn't he
time.
mention the noodles that he bought?
Yeah, they look like some very scrumptious noodles.
Swiss noodles.
It was just such a magical experience. So if you are in Switzerland, I'd highly recommend you go to Lauterbrunnen because it's going to blow your mind.
I didn't know
After
he was going to do a
Lauterbrunnen,
backflip
the
there.
next
He's a
day
backflip
we
guy.
made the journey to the top of Europe, to the infamous place of Jungfraujoch. I think that's how you say it. But anyways, so we woke up way early and we took the train from Lauterbrunnen all the way to Jungfraujoch, which is the top of Europe. And we bought our tickets Normally during the summertime, it's about $240 per person, but if you
Whoa.
go in the morning, it is $120 for the early bird special. So I'd highly recommend you do that to save some money. But anyways,
man,
it's
that's
quite the
expensive.
train ride up the mountains. You make a few stops, and then you're gonna go through the mountain. Halfway through the mountain, you're gonna make a pit stop, and you'll be able to get out and you can see the glacier. I mean, I've never seen a glacier so close up before. There's a lot of mountaineer people that were making a pit stop because they're actually hiking across this glacier to reach the top. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyways, after that pit stop, you're going to get back on the train and you'll make it up to the top, and you'll get off and you'll walk through a bunch of tunnels. It was a little bit confusing for me.
So it's really
Anyways,
insane.
we got up to this, it's called
A
like
train
Ice
goes
Plateau, I
up
think,
there? That's
and
crazy.
we were able to get some really cool shots from there, and there was no one there because we were the first people up on the train, so that was awesome. After, we went to the top of the Jungfraujoch, and we were able to get just awesome views
Wow.
of the whole entire area. There was just this really massive glacier. I mean, it was just absolutely phenomenal. There was a lot of people.
What a building. They just pull off it up in this, on top of this glacier.
How the heck did they build that?
Oh no, that's insane. That's insane. How long did it take to carve out the railroad and all the tunnels for this? Wow.
Which, I mean, it's kind of a downer. After that, we were able to walk in the glacier tunnels, and these are just
Wow.
spectacular. It's these tunnels of ice.
That's why it's
that you're able to
100
walk
or
through,
240
and there's
bucks.
just a lot of ice sculptures.
I mean-
It's just a really surreal experience. You
Get
can
a
also
lot
walk
for it.
around outside. We found some other cool places. There's some other activities such as like tubing and stuff. But yeah, it was just a great time
Tubing?
up at Jungfraujoch. We took the train ride down, we made a little pit stop, and then we headed down
man.
to the town called Wengen. And Wengen is right above Lauterbrunnen, and the only way you can get there is you can only take a train or you can walk there, because there are no cars allowed in the city. Wengen is great because you are able to get a view of the Lauterbrunnen Valley that you're not really able to get in the town of Lauterbrunnen. We went up there, beautiful. So I'd highly recommend making a little pit stop in Wengen if you can. I know the tickets from Lauterbrunnen are only like $7 or $10 for the train ticket, or you can just hike up. Make sure you go there. So after Wengen, made our way down and we drove over to the other valley, to the infamous town of Grindelwald. Now, Grindelwald is
Why does he keep saying the word infamous?
There's a lot of infamous places in infamous Switzerland.
Infamous.
my favorite
Grindelwald was a place on our list, I believe, that we were gonna go.
Yeah,
place.
yeah, it was. That's the one I remember.
What I love about Grindelwald is the view of Mount Eiger. It is like one of the biggest mountains I've ever seen. It is just massive. I was there about 2 years ago, and I hiked to this really crazy peak, able to get some of the coolest drone shots I've ever gotten. I was able to get just brilliant views of Mount Eiger, and also on the other side there were some really cool lakes I was able to film. So yeah, so I'd highly recommend making a stop to Grindelwald. You won't regret it.
I mean, he's
After
alone up
Grindelwald,
there
we
too.
headed over to the beautiful lake of Oeschinensee. Hope I said that right. Located by the city of Kandersteg. It's about a 5-mile hike round trip. It's a moderate hike, but it is very steep. You're gonna walk up this road. Once you get to the lake, your mind is gonna be blown. I've never seen a lake with such a big backdrop as this lake. I mean, the mountains surrounding it are so huge. Yeah, me and my buddy Danny,
So
we hadn't
cool.
showered in days.
Wow.
So we took the opportunity to take a dip in the lake, swim around, and just have a good time. I
I'm
definitely
glad he added the
recommend
fact that he
making a
didn't
pit-
shower in days. Yeah,
Casually
he
drop
did,
that in.
Thank you, Ryan.
Stop here. After Lake Oeschinensee, we're gonna head over to the west side of Switzerland to the beautiful
Oh,
town
wow.
of Les Diablerets.
Nice shot.
It's about a 2-hour car ride from Geneva, or about a 3-hour car ride from Zurich. You'll get to this town and you'll hike to this massive bowl. When I did it, I counted over 15 waterfalls. I mean, it was just blowing
Dang.
my mind. We hiked to the bowl. I was able to get some beautiful drone shots in the meadow, and then I hiked up to the rock and I was able to fly my drone around. I actually almost lost my drone here. I was flying it and it ran out of battery, and I did an emergency landing and I had no clue where it was at. Surrounding mountains had the highest peak
Tragic if
in
we
western
lost all these
Switzerland.
clips.
So after Les Diablerets, we're gonna head over to the beautiful city of Geneva. This is one of my favorite cities in Switzerland. I had the opportunity to live here for 2 months. About 2 summers
Wow.
ago, when I did an internship with human rights groups, I made videos for them. But Geneva is famous for having the United Nations. It's just a really cool place with a lot of action going on. They have the infamous Jet d'Eau, basically just this giant fountain that shoots.
He definitely does.
Wait,
He's
infamous?
definitely saying infamous a little bit wrong. I think he's got the wrong idea what infamous means.
It's some of his earlier videos. You gotta cut him some slack. His script writing wasn't quite to where his newer ones we've checked out.
I mean, infamous sounds cool.
It does. It does.
Water hundreds of feet up in the air. And
There's
it's
this
pretty
backflip
cool.
you were
Lake
waiting
Geneva
for.
is
There we go.
awesome. I used to just go swim and hang out there in the evenings. I found a sunken bow I used to always swim to. I also found some cool places, jump off the bridges into the water, and I mean, it was just a good time. Highly recommend visiting Geneva if you're in the west side of Switzerland. After Geneva, we're gonna head over to one of my favorite cliff jump spots in Switzerland, to Valle Versasca. So
Wow,
Valle
look at
Versasca,
that water.
located in the south side of
So
Switzerland, near the town
blue
Lugano,
green.
which is just borders Italy. So you're gonna drive this little canyon and you're gonna get to Valle Versasca. And what it is, it's these two bridges overhangs one of the most beautiful rivers I've ever seen. It's probably some of the clearest river water in the world. I've been there several times. I love jumping off
Reminds me of
that
the
bridge, doing
glacier.
some
National
backflips,
Park
and then
river
I
too.
also
Yeah, it does. Just that like blue water. You think it's as cold as it was in Glacier National Park?
No way. That was so cold.
like to go swim in the water. It is freezing cold,
Oh
but
my
it's
gosh,
super
that's so
clear, and it's
crazy.
just a rejuvenating
Says freezing
experience.
cold.
I'd
Oh.
have to say Valle Versasca is one of my all-time favorite swimming and cliff jumping locations in the world. If you're in southern Switzerland, make the drive up there and you won't regret it. So now for our final location, we're going to head to the beautiful town of Zermatt. Zermatt is
Oh.
famous for the Matterhorn mountain. So to get to Zermatt, you can't drive to the city itself. You have to drive nearby and then you'll take a train up because there's no cars in the city. And then you get to the town and you'll be able to see the Matterhorn, and it's just gonna blow your mind. It's so cool. You can take a bunch of gondolas up to the Matterhorn or other surrounding locations. I was being a cheapskate and didn't want to spend $60 to $100 to get up to the Matterhorn. I do regret that, so if you are going, I would recommend you do
It's
it.
a lot of money.
Or get a Swiss pass and you'll be able to get discounts on the gondolas. What I did is I found a little walking path that allowed me to see the Matterhorn and get beautiful drone shots, and also I did some like flips and twists and splits in the area. They also have a McDonald's there.
He did
so
indeed.
definitely
They have a McDonald's there?
We need to go
Holy.
immediately. That's all I care about in life is McDonald's.
And then we could do a McDonald's in Switzerland video with the Matterhorn right behind us. That would be sick.
And then get the inevitable comment, you traveled all the way to Switzerland just to try McDonald's? Go back to your country.
That'd probably be our best shot McDonald's taste test ever. Usually we're in a loud restaurant or a super dark, horribly lit hotel room.
I think anything with the Matterhorn as a backdrop might be the best shot. Anything you could do.
Oh, that's true.
recommend going there. You have to see the Matterhorn at least once in your life. But that is it for my top 10.
Switzerland. Holy nuts. What a beautiful place. Dang nabbit, we didn't go.
I mean, there's nothing else to say about dang Switzerland. It's just the pinnacle of nature travel.
Let us know where we need to go in Switzerland. If you didn't know, we are travel vloggers. We have a travel vlog channel. Link will be down in the description below. We're traveling in mostly Asia, but we'd love to go to Europe and see things in Europe. So if you'd watch that, let us know down in the comments, and we will go to Switzerland and go to as many off the beaten path places as possible.
You can check out some more vlogs from the trip where we almost went to Switzerland, where we started in Iceland and went to Italy. That's probably the closest thing you'll find on that channel to something like that.
Beautiful nature. And we go out there and walk really far into the Iceland wilderness sometimes.
Yeah, there's some interesting spots we ended up.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Boy.